Hi, my name is Chris Tester, and this is a collection of speeches from Warhammer 40k. I'm a British voice actor based in London, and I grew up in the 80s and 90s playing Warhammer. I've then been fortunate to professionally act in some of the video game projects that Warhammer are involved in, such as Lockheer Fellheart in Total War 2, and also voicing some of the Nurgle faction in Total War 3. But it's only really been in the last few years that I've started properly reading and getting into the 40k lore, which I found absolutely amazing, and really getting into all of the Black Library stuff as well. If you enjoy my versions of these speeches, then please do subscribe to this channel, please do share the video, and also feel free to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at ChrisNaturallyRP, and also on Twitter, or whatever it calls itself by the time that you're watching this, at CGTester. I was recently fortunate enough to actually be hired by Black Library to voice an audiobook which will be available later in 2023, and I also voice a couple of characters in a video game that I can't talk about right now, which is also set in the 40k universe, so I'd love to be able to keep you updated about those developments on the social channels too. I greatly appreciate all the support and constructive feedback that people have given me about these recordings, and if you ever have any suggestions for future speeches, then please do feel free to email me at tiktokspeeches@gmail.com. Thanks so much for your time, and now I'll cut to the chase.
They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give themselves to me. Like clay I shall mould them, and in the furnace of war forge them. They will be of iron will and steely muscle. In great armour shall I clad them, and with the mightiest guns will they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease, no sickness will blight them. They will have tactics, strategies, and machines such that no foe can best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are the defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear.
The fire is lit, and all that was is cast to the wind. We are committed, he and I, my brothers and our legions, all humanity's futures bound together in this circle of blood. We are all the storm now. The Imperium will fall and rise by my hand, or fall and fall and fall. Istvan was supposed to burn in silence so that our war could be won before it ever truly began. The angels' wings were to be broken at my feet. And still, failures come tumbling one over the other, and on, half burned. Yet our brother lives. Rebute, wise Rebute. Rebute with his scratching quills and his plans and his hope. Too understanding, too strong, too damned perfect. I wish he was with us. You would say that I listen too much to Alfarius and Lorgar, and that a war fought with deceit is doomed to fail. Perhaps you would be right. The Hydra does not see all, and now his blindness places a knife at his own back. Corax would have not made such an error. How strange, is it not, that so many I wish beside me stand against me, while at my back are only the flawed and damaged. I am a master of broken monsters. I cannot control them or their sons, and they know it. Mortarion and Perturabo and the rest, they can all feel it. They all know that this war is no longer something that can be guided, only ridden out. But they never understood me. Not truly. And they understand less with each passing second. They doubt. They think that I've lost my way. I can see it in their hearts. The pattern is the pride. The seeds of ruin driving them on, feeding the tempest. With such creatures, I must remake the future. 1,000 battles, 10,000, 10 times 10,000 to bring about the new age. With all the certainties of the past torn down, all the beliefs that made them turned to ashes. War on every front, stretched across time until none can know when the final blow will come. There is no disaster, for all disasters serve me alone. The storm rises only so that the thunderbolt may fall. No other would have dared this, not even you. Perhaps that is why our father chose me. Perhaps that was his only moment of honesty. It does not matter how the galaxy burns, only that it does. Warmaster. That is what it means, my brother. The strength to do what must be done.
Do you see that? Do you see that? Are you all as insulted as I am? This is what they send against us. This is what they send this rabble? We hold one of the mightiest cities on the face of the planet. The fury of its guns sends all skyborne enemies to the ground in flames. We stand united in our thousands, our weapons without number, our purity without question, our hearts beating courage through our blood, and this is how they attack us! Oh, brothers and sisters, a legion of beggars and alien dregs wheezes its way across the plains. Forgive me when the moment comes that they whine and weep against our walls. Forgive me that I must order you to waste ammunition upon their worthless bodies. I have heard many souls speak my name in whispers since I came to Helsreach. I ask you now, do you know me? I am Grimaldus of the Black Templars, a brother to the steel legions of this defiant world. Never again in life will your actions carry such consequences. Never again will you serve as you serve now. No duty will matter as much, and no glory will taste as true. We are the defenders of Helsreach. On this day, we carve our legend in the flesh of every alien we slay. Will you stand with me? Sons and daughters of the Imperium, our blood is the blood of heroes and martyrs! The Xenos dare defile our sacred city. They dare tread the sacred soil of our world. We will throw their bodies from these walls when the final day dawns. This is our city. This is our world. Say it! Cry it out so the bastards in orbit will hear our fury! Our city! Our world! Run, alien dogs! Come to me! Come to us all! Come die in blood and fire! For the Templars! For the Legion! For Helsreach!
You too. My brothers! My brothers! What a sorry sight you've become! Traitors! Heretics! No better than the treasonous cultures we've quashed for the last 200 years! Did you learn nothing? Either of you? I've heard Lorgar's heresies already. What brought you so low, brother? Did the machine in your skull finally refashion your loyalty into madness?
They let me dream. They gave me peace. What would you know of struggle, perfect son? When have you fought against a mutilation of your own mind? When have you had to do anything more than tally compliances and polish your armor?
Childish.
Does it really come down to this? So pitiably childish.
Childish? The people of your world named you Great One. The people of mine named me Slave. Which one of us landed on a paradise of civilization to be raised by a foster father? Which one of us was given armies to lead after training in the halls of the Macragian High Riders? Which one of us inherited a strong, cultured kingdom? And which one of us had to rise up against a kingdom with nothing but a horde of starving slaves? Which one of us was a child enslaved on a world of monsters with his brain cut up by carving knives? Listen to your blue-clad wretches yelling of courage and honor, courage and honor, courage and honor! Do you even know the meaning of those words? Courage is fighting the kingdom that enslaves you, no matter that their armies overshadow yours by 10,000 to 1. You know nothing of courage. Honor is resisting a tyrant when all of us suckle and grow fat on the hypocrisy he feeds them. You know nothing of honor.
You are still a slave, Angron. Enslaved by your past, blind to the future. Too hateful to learn, too spiteful to prosper. Pity the Guardsman. A weak sack of flesh, destined to die for a dead god that never cared. It spends its pitiful, brief life alone in his foxhole, with nothing to keep him company or to keep him safe than the cheapest, most disposable of equipment. Perhaps the glow of his last gun barrel keeps him warm at night. Me, as a servant of the powers, I enjoy the light of all this world and the warp has to offer. Power! It courses through my veins. The gifts of the Chaos Gods will soon overtake me, and one day I may even ascend. What has the Guardsman to look forward to but a grim life? And if he is lucky, perhaps, he will feel nothing as my axe sends his soul to Khorne. He lives for a corpse god, and he shall join his god as a corpse. I shall spare a half-second to think of him and his kind. Then I shall only laugh. Hail, Chaos! You would laugh, monster. But let me remind you, within that weak sack of meat and bone, uncared for by his god and wept for by none, beats a heart. A human heart that carries with it the strength and courage of all mankind. Within that sack of meat is ensconced the hope, the will, and the fury of every man, woman, and child from every corner of the Imperium. Within that weak sack of meat, festooned in thin armor and weapons only powerful in numbers, beats the heart of a man. And for 10,000 years, the hearts of men have beaten strongly in defiance of your so-called powers. For 10,000 years, the hearts of men have stood united against a galaxy that despises them for no reason save that they have the audacity not to lay down and die. For 10,000 years, your Black Crusades have been pushed back, beaten down, and made a mockery of by weak sacks of flesh with cheap weapons and disposable equipment. For that weak sack of flesh that you so gleefully mock is no super soldier, no immortal warrior, no creature cursed by chaos like you. He is a man. An Imperial Guardsman, drawn from some forgotten corner of the Imperium to fight for his species and for the safety of the people he loves. He is a factory worker, a farmer, a storekeeper, a father, a brother, a son, a mere man. And against creatures like you, teeming and numberless, powered by the very will of a thirsting god, he holds the line. And he has held the line for 10,000 years. So, What's your excuse, monster?
We've arrived. And it is now that we perform our charge. In fealty to the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I declare Exterminatus upon the imperial world of Typhon Primaris. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world, and consign 1,000,000 souls to oblivion. May imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
It is human nature to seek culpability in a time of tragedy. It is a sign of strength to cry out against fate, rather than to bow one's head and succumb. Inevitably, many shall fault the hands upon the sword which fell Typhon, the Ordo Malleus. But the Inquisition merely performs the duty of its office. To further fear them is redundant. To hate them are heretical. Those more sensible will place responsibility with those who force the hands of the Inquisition. With some fortune, they may foster this hatred into purpose and further rule their own fate by coming to the Emperor's service. Yet, ultimately, it was I who set these events into motion with a single blow of my hammer.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day, the crude biomass you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved, for the machine is immortal. Even in death, I serve the Omniscire.
We do not know what our chances of survival are, so we fight as if they were zero. We do not know what we are facing, so we fight as if it was the dark gods themselves. No one will remember us now, and we may never be buried beneath Titan. So we will build our own memorial here. The chapter might lose us, and the Imperium might never know we existed, but the enemy will know. The enemy will remember. We will hurt it so badly that it will never forget us until the stars burn out and the Emperor vanquishes it at the end of time. When chaos is dying, its last thought will be of us. This is our memorial, carved into the heart of chaos. We cannot lose, Grey Knights. We have already won. Why do I still live? What more do you want from me? I gave everything I had to you, to them. And look what they've made out of our dream. This bloated, rotting carcass of an empire is driven not by reason and hope, but by fear, hate, and ignorance. Better that we had all burned in the fires of Horus's ambition than to live like this.
Father, the 13th returns.
What has happened to you, Father?
What fate decreed for me?
What do you mean? How could you have allowed all this misery and strife to befall our Imperium?
I am not the shepherd humanity seeks. It was always my ambition that they would no longer have need of me. All I can do now is to protect them as I see fit, so that one day they may rise on their own.
And if they don't? What if their flame is extinguished long before they realize your dream for you?
Then that is what fate would have decreed for them.
Why do you keep talking of fate? You had always taught us that humanity would forge its own destiny.
It was hubris that made me believe I alone have the answers. Pride is the greatest sin, which is why I suffer the greatest punishment.
And this suffering, is it penance or your solution? To wither away while humanity begs and pleads for their savior, hoping that he might listen?
I have always heard them. Every lie, every prayer, every shout, and every scream. I heard you when you cried out for me to save you. Would you like to know the price that I paid to keep you alive? Of the billions that blinked out of existence so that you might survive.
You need not carry this burden alone.
You speak of fulfilling my vision, Lord of Ultramar. When my body had laid shattered among the best of you, I already knew my dream had died with them.
Father,
You are not my son. None of you ever were. You're my gifts to humanity. 20 shining beacons who would have ushered us into a new age as the rightful rulers of the galaxy. Yet none of you could rise above your personal desires and allowed everything I had given you to be squandered.
I will not allow us to go gently into the night. Do you hear me, Father? You may have turned your back on us, but I will never betray humanity.
As is your choice, Lord Commander.
Why? Why do you still fight?
Only in death does duty end.
Get up, Dante. I will not accept displays of humility from a man like you. Rise. Now. Forgive the indignity. I see that you are hurt.
Is this a dream? Or a vision?
Neither. I live. I have returned to save the Imperium.
Forgive me, my lord. I failed. I called all the chapters of the blood and lost them all to save Baal. The Arx Angelicum is in ruins. Thousands of space marines are dead, and Baal is devastated.
Forgive? There is nothing to forgive, Dante. You stopped them. When we arrived, the High Fleet was greatly depleted and easily destroyed. As we speak, the Indomitus Crusade is scouring the system of the last remnants of the Tyranids. You have achieved what few others have, and destroyed a major High Fleet tendril. I would congratulate you, but there is nothing I can say that encompasses the scale of what you have achieved. You have saved Baal from the hive mind, Commander Dante, and with it, the greater part of this segmentum.
I am sorry. I am sorry. I almost lost everything. Please, forgive me.
there is nothing to forgive. There is always beauty, even in the depths of ugliness, even in the depths of defeat. Your song raises us all above this realm of earthly flesh, for we are angels and warriors in equal part. Our devotion to our Emperor and our Gene Father is a paragon to which the citizens of the Imperium have long aspired. Now, we stand upon the brink of death. This will not change. I say, let us not go into the long silences of history, but stride forward into legend. If the Tyranids remained without guidance, we might survive here behind the walls of Heavenward Redoubt. But they reorganize. The hive mind is disrupted no longer. Our librarians report the shadow falls once more. It is weak, but it grows stronger with every passing minute, coalescing around one potent nexus. If this is allowed to continue, the Tyranids will become of one mind again, and they shall attack without mercy, and we will perish here, within these walls. We have no notice of the fleet. The void is awash with the energies of the warp. If we strike down their leader, we may deal the swarm one fatal death blow and save the worlds beyond Baal. In this way, we will win a victory of sorts, but we will most likely die in the attempt. Millions of them remain, scan thousands of us. If we stay behind these walls, they will overwhelm the last of our defenses in a few days. This is the only way. The shadow in the warp is a many-headed monster, more ferocious than the Hydra of ancient times, for it has 1 billion times 1 billion heads, and all must be severed before it will die. We have the blades. We have the will. Let us carve the skulls of this creature. Are we not the sons of the great angel? Are we not the most blessed of all Adeptus Astartes? Our Primarch was among the first to die, but he lives eternal in all our beings. The meat and blood of our bodies are his host. For 10,000 years, we have protected his legacy within the fortresses of our bodies. That time is at an end. We are all Death Company now. The sarcophagi lie shattered, their occupants devoured, and our future upon Baal has died with them. The chapter is finished here, but it is not yet dead. Our bloodline may survive. In the gene seed of our brothers elsewhere in the galaxy, it may not. This question of survival is no longer ours to contemplate. Divert your gaze from the future and think of the present, of now, of what we might accomplish in these next glorious hours. For if we must go into the darkness of extinction, let us do so with our swords in our hands and the wrath of Sanguinius in our grasp. When tidings of this battle reach other worlds, let them lift up their guns and say, "We shall not fail! We shall not die meekly! Through battle we remember and honor the sons of Baal!" Who will say I? Who will raise his sword with mine? Who will bring burnished steel and wrathful soul to the slaughter and let red ruin flow? Who will die in the remembering of our Lord? Our flesh may be devoured, but they cannot touch our souls. We are the most blessed of the Emperor's warriors. The soul of our Lord lives in the minds and hearts of every one of us. We, the red-clad, the blood-hungry. We, the wrathful and the pure. We, the sons of Sanguinius, most noble and glorious of all the Primarchs. We hold more than his memory in our hearts and minds. The great angel would not lurk here waiting for his end. He would strike out, seeking to destroy the leader of his enemies as he did when he confronted his brother Horus. Such a choice is now ours, as it was our father's. If we do this, we shall all surely perish, but Baal may yet escape and play host to Space Marines still. You and I will not be among them, but the name of the Blood Angels and the score of other chapters who fought with us here will yet be known across the galaxy. For millennium,
I have worn this mask. So long that mortal humans on 1,000 worlds equate Dante with Sanguinius. One has become the other. I have no need of a mask any longer. I need not wear our Lord's face. He is in here, in my heart. I reveal my face to you, long hidden for shame of the weakness age reveals. I shall wear this mask when I fight, in honor of our Lord. But I go into the final battle, not as a poor facsimile of our father, but as Commander Dante, son of Baal, son of the great angel, whose living body is the host of the Primarch. What say you, warriors of Baal? That we let slip the red thirst one final time and fly upon the wings of wrath with our Lord into battle. I commend you all, O ye mighty, to the protection of the great angel, for the Emperor, for Sanguinius. There is no more beauty to be had from life, so let us then seek a beautiful death. A beautiful death for the Emperor, for Sanguinius! Let the damned march with the damned.
Came after all. My son. My greatest son. You have suffered greatly for mankind. You have earned your rest many times over, Louis of Baal Secundus. You have been a beacon of light in dark times. I would grant you any reward. Take you by my side, free you from strife and pain. Yes, please. I have served for so long. Grant me the freedom of death. I cannot. I regret that I can do none of those things. I need you, Dante. Your suffering is not over. Please, no, my lord! I have done enough! Please, let me rest! I am sorry, my son, but you cannot rest. Not yet. Live, my son. Live. No! Take me with you! I beg you!
I face you at last, my brother.
You make it sound as if you have brought me to heel and will beat me in combat. After 10,000 years, you remain pompous. Look about you. I have you. I have won.
You have not won yet!
If this is not a victory, then I should probably consult one of your tedious manuals to better acquaint myself with the meaning of the term.
It's not over.
Father gave you his blade, I see. Or did you take it off its dead nay? I suppose it matters not. You will not wield it against me.
Fight me, you coward!
Do you think I would stoop so low as to fight you, my brother? Look at me. You are so far beneath me. I am mightier than you could ever be. Why would I waste my strength on crushing an insect like you?
Instead, you save your wickedness for my people, who cannot fight back at all. How noble of you!
Wickedness? Is that what you see? I bring them salvation from the hell our father created. I bring them the joy of endless rebirth. I bring them life.
You cast yourself as a warlord prophet, but you are a slave. I pity you, brother. You have deceived yourself.
It is you who is the slave. The slave of our uncaring father, who made us to do his bidding. You who trod the path he laid out for you without question, sure that the lies he told you were the truth, too stupid and trusting to question them yourself. You never saw what he did to me. The first time I met him, he stole from me my life's struggle. It was nothing to him, a bump in his smooth road to godhood. He took what I'd worked and suffered for, and he did not care. He called himself the Emperor. What kind of being has the presumption to claim such a title? Who takes and takes the affections of his sons and gives so little in return? He would not even deign to tell us his name. You swallowed it all, poison milk from our machine mother, machines he created, things like we are. I tried his way. I should never have compromised my own principles, but I did. I was a champion of common people, and I abandoned them for a galactic despot. Now, I serve the people again.
If I'm a puppet of an uncaring master, then what are you? A being who wallows in war power while crying hatred for the witch? A plaything for corruption and disease? You blustered long and hard against psychic power and claimed total fearlessness and indomitability none could match. Yet when faced with death, the ultimate challenge, you failed.
You do not know what you speak of. You do not know what it was like. I was shown the depths of suffering of a kind you could never understand, and as death beckoned me, I was given the power to withstand it.
I know no suffering. I saw my brothers, many of whom I loved, all of whom I respected, turn their backs upon our creator and plunge the galaxy into war. I saw humanity reach for one golden moment of peace, brush it with its fingers, and then I saw you and the others spit upon it and tear it away. I died at the hands of my kin. I awoke to a galaxy so far from the glorious enlightenment of the Emperor, it resembles the Catholic hell. You turned your back on all you claimed to stand for, cravenly, without a second thought. Where was my brother who could weather any storm, whose body shrugged off poison, who would never, ever give in? What happened to him? The Mortarion of old would never have allowed this. He would have died with honor. You must have seen, as your warriors were transformed into these hulking monsters, what awaited you should you say yes to salvation. You, who called yourself the strongest of us, the redoubtable, the master of any pain or sorrow. Well, how hollow these words seem to me now. I, at least, know what I am. I look at myself, and though I perceive many failures, I know with unshakable certainty that I perform the duty I was created for, that I fight for the preservation of mankind.
Then you do not fight for the Emperor.
I fight for what he believed.
An advocate's quibbling. You fight for yourself.
I remain a champion of humanity, whereas you are the lackey of evil.
Am I? Then tell me, Reboot, if our father was so good, look me in the eye and tell me that he loved us all as any father should love his sons. You know, don't you? You've seen it. I knew something was different about you. You spoke with him on Terra. Tell me, what did he say? Did he plead to be released? Did he beg you to be set free from his golden throne? Oh, my brother, it cannot be. Did he say nothing? Is our father dead? Well, of course he isn't, is he? Not in any real sense. Beings like him are beyond mortality. Why, you are so misguided. He sought godhood, and in a way, he had what he wanted. He is a corpse god, a lord of death, more terrible and vile than my adopted grandfather, who offers those who follow him the gift of endless renewal. You look at this land, and you only see ruination. It is a shame for you that Nurgle's potential is invisible. Where you see destruction, I see but one phase in a cycle of death, rebirth, fecundity and decay. It is glorious, colourful, vital, so much more than our father's pale lies. And all secrets might be known within the warp. It is timeless and eternal. Everything that happens here is reflected there endlessly. Every moment can be accessed, every lie heard, every broken promise relived. And I have been deep within, far from Nurgle's garden, into realms where secrets flock like corpse flies. I found many interesting things there. Do you know why he made us? Do you think it was for affection? I think once I've crippled you, and you lie blind and useless in an iron cage begging to die, I might tell you. And then your fine words here will burn in your mouth. But that is yet to come. Next first, I think. You won't be needing those at all. Do not worry, my brother. My scythe is sharp, and it will hurt only a little.
Do you see, Guilliman? You follow the wrong master. He is a cyst, a pus-filled canker surrounding a dead thing lodged in the fabric of reality, like a thorn or a piece of shrapnel. It must be drawn out for things to heal. Do you understand now that this is what you follow? Of course you can't answer. I doubt you understand. Anyway, we will soon be in the garden of Nurgle, my brother. The veils are parting. I can see it already. Once you are dead, this world will fall within it and become a jewel of decay. You have damaged my network, but not by enough. And at the coming of your death, one by one, each of your worlds will pass from this place of cold void and uncaring stars into the grandfather's embrace. I wish you could see it. It is beautiful, full of life and potential. There are trees here and plants of amazing variety. It is not barren. It is not like that cold light you showed me, not like him. It is not like the Mortarion at all, with its pointless struggle against inevitability. Here, nothing ever truly ends, but is reborn and dies and is reborn and dies over and over again. Everything here is given many gifts. Nothing, no matter how small, is overlooked. And all share in grandfather's bounties. There is no pain. And because there is no pain, suffering is born gladly. Now tell me, my brother, compared to the hell our father has inflicted upon the galaxy, does that sound so very terrible? I wish you could see it. If only you would turn. You are nearly dead. Soon the pain will be over. Don't you want that? For it to be done. Hush now. Hush. Go to the grandfather and you will see. He will make it all right. He will take the pain away forever.
Do you see now, good man? You followed the wrong master. While he is a cyst, a pus-filled canker surrounding a dead thing lodged in the fabric of reality, like a thorn or a piece of shrapnel. It must be drawn out for things to heal. Do you understand now that this is what you follow? Of course you can't answer. I doubt you'd understand anyway. We will soon be in the garden of Nurgle, my brother. The veils are parting. I can see it already. Once you are dead, the world will fall within it and become a jewel of decay. You have damaged my network, but not by enough. And at the coming of your death, one by one, each of your worlds will pass from this place of cold void and uncaring stars into the grandfather's embrace. Oh, I wish you could see it. It is beautiful, full of life and potential. There are trees here and plants of amazing variety. It is not barren. It is not like that cold light you showed me, not like him. It is not like the Mortarion at all, with all its pointless struggle against inevitability. Here, nothing ever truly ends, but is reborn and dies, and is reborn and dies, over and over again. Everything here is given many gifts. Nothing, no matter how small, is overlooked. And all share in Grandfather's bounties. There is no pain. And because there is no pain, suffering is gladly borne. Now tell me, brother, compared to the hell our father has inflicted upon the galaxy, does that sound so terrible? Oh, I wish you could see it. If only you would turn. You are nearly dead. Soon the pain will be over. Don't you want that? For it to be done? Hush, now. Hush. Or go to the grandfather, and you will see. He will make it all right. He will take the pain away. Forever.
I do not want to be here. I do not want this present, and I want the future that follows even less. We stand against our own brothers and sisters with our backs to the Eternity Gate. And this is not a battle we can win. If you have ever wondered how you will die, now you know. If you have ever wondered where your body will lie, now you know. You'll be killed on the last wall between hope and horror. Your body will lie there, unburied, staring up at a poisoned sky. Once the sanctum falls, terror falls with it. And I tell you, we cannot hold this war. You can see it yourselves. There are too many of them, and we are too few. We may last a week, if we do the impossible. More likely, we will all be dead in 3 days. Perhaps my words surprise you, or frighten you. But I will not lie. Not to you. Not to you who have come through 200 days of dread only to find yourselves here. I have looked into your faces and seen what this war has cost all of you. I have followed the flow of battles that each of you have survived to stand here on the final battlement. I see everything you have endured, those stories written in the light of your eyes. Now, the Warmaster offers you the lie of life, promising a mercy his forces are incapable of showing if we will abandon this last war. And it falls to me, here and now, to tell you to stand against him one more time. To give everything you have, even your lives, if it will hold this rampart for another day, another hour, another second. That is what the moment demands of me, is it not? That I beg you to make one last sacrifice? No. No. I will not ask it of you. You have already given everything. You have already done everything asked of you 100 times and more. You have suffered through a war of unimaginable darkness, one that has demanded more from you than any soldier in the history of our species has been forced to give. The fact that you still live, that you still fight. I cannot conceive of the courage and resilience it requires for you to face this dawn and look to the horizon with a rifle in your hands, where Horus has offered only lies. I will offer you truth. Those of you that wish to run, run. Leave this place. Not in shame at a duty undone, not in surrender to the traitor's forces, but with honor. Go with my gratitude, for you have already given everything asked of you. What right does anyone have to demand more? For you have endured harrowing beyond account, horror beyond measure. If you wish to fall back into this sanctum imperialis and spend the last hours of life with your children, then do so. Know that you go not only with my blessing, but with my envy. If you wish to leave the wall and take your chances in the wasteland before the battle begins, then in the Emperor's name, you have earned the right to try. Go swiftly, and carry with you the pride that you have already given a hero's share in a war that none of us wanted, but were forced to fight. And if you wish for the truth, I will give it to you gladly, for you have earned that too. It shames me to admit, but I would abandon this wall if I could. The Primarch in me, the supposed demigod half of my heart, craves life with a ferocity that shames me. If I borrowed that instinct, I would take to the sky and never look back. But I cannot. I am half human, and the human in me demands that I stay. The prophesied death is coming today, tonight, tomorrow. I know not the when or the how, only that I feel fate's breath on the back of my neck. I do not remain here out of immortality's courage. I remain here because if I am to die, I choose this death. I choose to die with my back to the last door. I choose to give my life to buy another hour or a minute or even a single second of grace to those who cannot be here fighting with me. I choose to die here because I do not believe I have yet given all I can. Someone must stand and fight, and if I have but one choice left, I will make it now. I will stand. I will fight. I will hold this wall, knowing that the 13th Legion makes for terror with all speed, and if they cannot bring salvation, they will bring retribution. Whether I am alone, or whether 100,000 of you are by my side, when the Warmaster's horde descends upon this wall, they will find me waiting for them with a blade in my hand. Not because I can win, but because it is right. I do not know what delusion grips those out there who were once our brothers and sisters, but I know it is right to oppose them. I have spoken enough. You need hear no more of my fears and confessions. All that remains is for me to ask, will you run?
Is this it? You sought to draw me here to kill me?
You betrayed us! Your sons! You led us here to die! There is no forgiveness for that! None! You must die by my hand! The Emperor's justice will fall upon you! Not even Fulgrim the Illuminator can escape the Life Eater!
You wish me dead? Why? Because you think I betrayed you, the Legion? Oh, Rylanor, your thoughts are so narrow. If you could only see us now, how beautiful we have become. We shine so brightly, each of us a brilliant sun. There you are, wet and wriggling. I can feel your panic. It's delicious.
Do not do this!
Why not? I am your master. I can do whatever I like. I can crush you, or I can raise you up. Return to the Legion. Accept the gifts of the Dark Prince, and you will walk at my side, clad once again in flesh. You can be anything, old friend. I will sculpt you into something beautiful, a god to these mortals.
Never! All we have left between us is that we will die together. I am Rylanor of the Emperor's children, ancient of rights, venerable of the Palatine host, and proud servant of the Emperor of mankind, beloved by all. I reject you now and always!
I'm sorry. Did it sound like I was offering you a choice? I will remake you, brother. You will be my crowning achievement.
The flesh is weak. For more than 10 millennia, we have lived up to this maxim. For more than 10 millennia, we have endured. For more than 10 millennia, we have defended the Imperium. Mankind teeters on the brink of annihilation and relies on our indomitable strength to survive. We will not be found wanting, for we are the Iron Hands. Follow me, Malkaan Ferrus, your Iron Father. And by the blood of the Gorgon, we shall be victorious.
Hear now the words of my ruling. I am not blind to the needs of the Imperium, but nor am I blind to the realities of the hearts of men. I hear men speak of knowledge and power as though they're abstract concepts to be employed as simply as a sword or gun. They are not. Power is a living force, and the danger with power is obsession. A man who attains a measure of power will find it comes to dominate his life until all he can think of is the acquisition of more. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but few can stand the ultimate test of character, that of wielding power without succumbing to its darker temptations. Peering into the darkness to gain knowledge of the warp is fraught with peril, for it is an inconstant place of shifting realities, capricious lies and untruths. The seeker after truth must have a care he is not deceived, for false knowledge is far more dangerous than ignorance. All men wish to possess knowledge, but few are willing to pay the price. Always men will seek to take the shortcut, the quick route to power, and it is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that will lure him to evil ways. True knowledge is gained only after the acquisition of wisdom. Without wisdom, a powerful person does not become more powerful, he becomes reckless. His power will turn on him and eventually destroy all he has built. I have walked paths no man can now, and faced the unnameable creatures of the warp. I understand all too well the secrets and dangers that lurk in its hidden darkness. Such things are not for lesser minds to know, no matter how powerful or knowledgeable they believe themselves to be. The secrets I have shared serve as warnings, not enticements to explore further. Only death and damnation await those who pry too deeply into secrets not meant for mortals. You see, now I've allowed my sons to delve too profoundly into matters I should never have permitted them to know even existed. Let it be known that no one shall suffer censure, for this conclave is to serve unity, not discord. But no more shall the threat of sorcery be allowed to taint the warriors of the Astartes. Henceforth, it is my will that no legion will maintain a librarius department. All its warriors and instructors must be returned to the battle companies and never again employ any psychic powers. Woe betide he who ignores my warnings, for he breaks faith with me. He shall be my enemy, and I will visit such destruction upon him and all his followers that, until the end of all things, he shall rue the day he turned from my light.
Calth is the syncopated backbeat to the song, the rhythm beneath the rhyme. That much fire, that much misery, that much pain. Suffering has always fueled the warp in random stains and stigmata. Now we learn the virtue of control. Can you hear it? Can you hear the pain stirring the tides? Can you hear the crash of those waves, Magnus? Can you hear how those black tides beat 1,000,000 hearts bursting out loud, as rhythmic as drums in the deep cold? The tides of the Sea of Souls can be altered by mortal hands, brother. Listen. Listen. We are reordering the warp itself, Magnus, changing it through pain. We're rewriting the song. Every life, every death, every cry of pain across these burning worlds thins the veil between reality and the first realm. Call it Hades or Hell, Jahannam, Naraka, or the Underworld. Call it the Warp. Call it whatever you will. But I am bringing it forth unto the material plane. Calth was the genesis of the storm, Magnus. I will make an entire subsector suffer enough that the curtain falls and the 500 worlds drown in the warp. Tell me you feel it. Tell me you can hear the million demons shrieking and baying, desperate to be born upon these burning worlds. It was a mistake. We were a mistake, brother. I know that now. I see it for myself in my own blundering. I see it in the eyes of the mistakes I created, just as surely as the Emperor sees it in ours. There is no sense of guilt. Only good intentions gone bad. But this was not meant to be. We are not meant to be. The universe is correcting itself, expunging the infection. How could I have been blind to it for so long? Or pride? Arrogance, perhaps. To think we were better, stronger, special. Well, Horus is only following his true nature. Have we simply been denying ours? We've been touched by forces beyond the Emperor's own design. Well, you know this, brother, as well as I do. No good comes from that which in evil is born, no matter the purpose or cause. I look at Kurtz, and I see myself. Do you find Angron in your reflection? How thin is the veneer that keeps us loyal, keeps us civilized? But for chance, it seems any of us might now have crossed that line. Or does the line even exist? Or do we simply draw it in front of us as suits our own vanity? Well, how could the Emperor create such demigods with science alone? Warriors that can withstand tank shells? Leaders whose every word must be obeyed? Creatures with powers far beyond any thunder warrior or legionary? Why do you think the Emperor decided not to simply recreate his children when they were lost? What unique gifts of darkness did he pass to you? I used to think that there was righteous justice, that whatever I did, it served humanity. There is only one way left to aid mankind, and it does not include our survival, O King of Wolves. Well, this is not our universe. It never was. You cannot create legends and myths in a laboratory. You often spoke of the Fenrisian notion of a good death. If there is such a thing, I desire it. I should have taken it on Istvan. For time and again, fate presented me with an opportunity, but I denied it. Against Kurtz and Lorgar, I could have ended their vileness. And Angron, how many has he butchered since I fled his axis? Rational, sensible decisions, weighing advantage and cost each time. But mistakes all. The universe does not want us. It is unnatural that I survived. Visions sent by the Emperor? I think not. Something else guided those that rescued me. Another hand moved my warriors to intervene at Istvan. Powers that we do not willingly serve still bend us to their will through the manipulation of others. I was not meant to survive Istvan, and all that has befallen us is simply a correction of that failing course. It is not coincidence that we are here, facing annihilation once more. This time, I embrace my destiny. I will let the darkness be expunged. To be a Salamander is to embody the true purpose of a space marine. Might, compassion, diplomacy. Soldiers for the fragile beings, the defenders of mankind, protecting the lives of the innocent above all else. But our loyalty is a badge of honor. Our gene seed was created with purpose by our God Emperor. We will stop at nothing to secure a safe haven for humanity and fight for the honor of Vulcan. Hailing from a treacherous and unforgiving world, Nocturne made us the warriors that we are today. To confront our legion in combat is to stare into the eyes of 1,000 nightmares. Beneath our ceramite armor is torment encapsulated. Glowing red eyes, genetically mutated charcoal flesh, our conflicts resolved by a furious wall of flame. Plumes of smoke lay in our wake, burning to the ground all that stand in resistance to our legion. To be initiated and accepted into our chapter is to accept a new beginning. To stand before the apothecaries who dedicated their lives to Vulcan's legacy.
to accept their judgment, to have endured meticulous apprenticeship, to have hunted and annihilated that which you hope to become. Only the most admirable of men possess the ability to perform the storied achievements of Vulcan. Our will to defend is absolute. To protect Prometheus, to protect the elders of Nocturne, to protect all those who call the Imperium home. Our duty does not waver. To mistake the grace and empathy of a salamander for weakness is the pathway to a sweltering grave. For all that remains of our enemies is misery and ash. Betrayal is not tolerated. Renegades will not be forgiven. A trail of smoulder and destruction follows the passage to the bounties on their heads. Into the fires of battle, we are unfazed by the infernal we have manifested. Our gene seed provides us unprecedented resilience. Infernal war is no concern to our warriors. I have burned many. Oceans of the Xenos burned by my fire alone. I've seen them scream, begging for their lives. Thousands of the Xenos, the women and children, all turned to ash. I witnessed this savagery. I witnessed this purification, the cleansing of their filth. Paved the way for the grasp of our God Emperor, for the great crusade never ends. Humanity takes its rightful place as the lords of the galaxy. Fearless, we stand untethered in the monastery of doom, fighting with every last scrap of life and succumbing to death before we would ever consider retreat. The diabolical blaze that slaughters entire oceans of orcs. The will to fight. The desire to fortify the land that you inhabit. You will prevail for Prometheus, for Vulcan, and for the Imperium of Man! Into the fires of battle! On to the Anvil of War!
All I ever wanted was the truth. Remember those words as you read the ones that follow. I never set out to topple my father's kingdom of lies from a sense of misplaced pride. I never wanted to bleed the species to its marrow, reaving half the galaxy clean of human life in this bitter crusade. I never desired any of this, though I know the reasons for which it must be done. But all I ever wanted was the truth.
All I ever wanted was the truth. Remember those words as you read the ones that follow. I never set out to topple my father's kingdom of lies from a sense of misplaced pride. I never wanted to bleed the species to its marrow, reaving half the galaxy clean of human life in this bitter crusade. I never desired any of this, though I know the reasons for which it must be done. But all I ever wanted was the truth.
All I ever wanted was the truth. Remember those words as you read the ones that follow. I never set out to topple my father's kingdom of lies from a sense of misplaced pride. I never wanted to bleed the species to its marrow, reaving half the galaxy clean of human life in this bitter crusade. I never desired any of this, though I know the reasons for which it must be done. But all I ever wanted was the truth. They are not my hands. This fact is forgotten by my brothers. Inexplicably, it has always seemed to me. The hands are strong, to be sure, and have created great things for us all. But they are not mine. And that counts for something. They forget that the silver on my arms comes from a beast that I vanquished. It is the mark of a great evil that I ended, and yet it persists within me. It is alien, artificial, an uneasy corollary to the superlative physical frame given to me by my father. I would struggle to remove it now. The problem is not one of surgery, for I have no doubt my father's chirurgeons could remake me entirely if he gave them the command. No, I will not remove the silver from my flesh, because I have learned to depend on it. The fault is with my mind. I rely on the augmentation given to me by my metal gauntlets, so much so that the flesh beneath them now is little more than a memory. It is a crutch, this silver. The day will come when I will strip it from me, lest I lose the power to master myself forever. Already, my legion's warriors replace their shield hands with metal in my honor, and so they too are learning to doubt the natural strength of their bodies. They must be weaned off this practice before it becomes a mania for them. Hatred of what is natural, of what is human, is the first and greatest of the corruptions. So, I record it here. When the time comes, I will strip my hands of their unnatural silver. I will instruct my legion to recant their distrust of the flesh. I will turn them away from the gifts of the machine and bid them relearn the mysteries of flesh, bone, and blood. When my father's crusade is over, for this shall be my sacred task. When the fighting is done, I shall cure my legion and myself. For if fighting is all there is, if we may never pause to reflect on what such devotion to strength is doing to us, then our compulsion will only grow. Already, I see the madness that path leads to, and so I shall excise the silver from my hands. In doing so, I shall weaken myself and my sons, but nonetheless, it must be done. The hands are strong, and have created great things, but they are not mine.
It is not enough. We stand in the dust at the end of centuries of useless sin and endless failure. The Legion was poisoned, and we sacrificed an entire world to cleanse it. We failed. We are the sons of the only Primarch to hate his own Legion. There, again, we failed. We swore vengeance on the Imperium, yet we run from every battle where we don't possess overwhelming force over a crippled enemy! We fail again, and again, and again! Have you ever fought a battle you'd struggle to win with no hope of running away? Have any of us? Have you ever, since the siege of terror itself, drawn a weapon with the knowledge that you might die? I will not see my life hoard away without meaning. Do you hear me? Do you understand me, Prince of Cowards? I want vengeance against a galaxy that hates us. I want Imperial worlds to cower when we draw near. I want the weeping of this Empire's souls to reach all the way to Holy Terror, and the sound of suffering will choke the corpse god on his throne of gold! I will cast a shadow across this world. I will burn every man, woman, and child, so the smoke from the funeral pyres eclipses the sun. With the dust that remains, I will take the echo of damnation into the sacred skies above Terra and rain the ashes of 20 million mortals down onto the Emperor's palace. Then they will remember us. Then they will remember the Legion they once feared. Faithful, enlightened, ambitious brethren. In but a single decade, A few mere swipes of the pendulum, we have gathered a sacrifice to Khorne that will be made legend. Though it was a simpler, weaker voice that illuminated me during my centuries upon the judgment of Carrion, it was Khorne's messenger who showed me the true path of freedom from our pathetic corpse emperor. And what is this path? This meaning, this purpose to which we gather the skulls of our foes? It is nothing. There is no meaning, no purpose. We murder, we kill. It is mindless savagery. This universe is mindless. In mere hours, billions will die. Innocent, guilty, strong and weak, honest and deceitful, all of them. They will scream. They will burn, and for no purpose but that mighty Khorne may revel in their bloodshed. And united in this void of purpose, fear or duty, we shall at long last be free! Blood for the blood god! Skulls for the skull throne! Let the galaxy burn! You think I am weak, but you have grown weaker, Angron. I have learned. I have remade my strength, while you have sold yours out of despair. You are weak. You are a slave. You were born a slave, and a slave you remain. Your strength flees. It does not belong to you. It is your master's, and the chain that keeps you throttles you. The threads of blood are thinning. The meal of slaughter will only keep you here long enough to see your bastard sons die. Their skin is my skin. A gift of sufferings at the hands of our brother. You think that I would let you wield your weapons against me? I have taken their measure. They will die here on this hill. They will die without striking a blow. All your best mongrel sons of slaughter, they will die, and your battered soul will watch as it sinks back into the dark.
You think I am weak, but you have grown weaker, Angron. I have learned. I have remade my strength, while you have sold yours out of despair. You are weak. You are a slave. You were born a slave, and a slave you remain. Your strength flees. It does not belong to you. It is your master's, and the chains that keep you throttle you. The threads of blood are thinning. The meal of slaughter will only keep you here long enough to see your bastard sons die. Their skin is my skin. A gift of sufferings at the hands of our brother. You think that I would let you wield your weapons against me? I have taken their measure. They will die. Here on this hill, they will die without striking a blow. All your best mongrel sons of slaughter, they will die, and your battered soul will watch as it sinks back into the dark. We come to celebrate the All-Father. We come to remember his sacrifice, his ascension from the world of the senses, and his victory over my brother, the traitor. We remember the dead, who even now gather in the Oververse, their blades sharp, their aim clean. They are better than we are. For they perished in the war to end all wars, and their souls have been purified. And what of us? Those who remain wallowing in the dregs, our fallen gods having left us? We have grown fat. We have the beast within us, but it has never yet been mastered. So, let us celebrate my father's ascension. Let us remember what he was able to accomplish. Let us remember what he built and what he foresaw. And then, how he lost and how he failed. Do not mourn the fact that he no longer walks among us, for the galaxy was too small to accommodate such souls. He was of an age of gods, and we are slumped in an age of mortals. The light of the stars will fade. This place will grow old and the ice will crack. We will forget, no matter how much the skalds tell the old tales. What battles are left for us, like the ones before? My fallen brothers are gone. Malkador is gone. The leeches cluster around the golden throne and whisper of deeds done before they were born, as if it were they who'd achieved them. No doubt, from all of this, one thing remains true. We were not on Terra. We were not there when the palace fell. And that shame will pursue us for eternity. It remains unfinished. I have waited too long, building this mountain, squabbling with Guilliman. I will not grow old, feeble, limping around a crumbling inheritance. I have an oath to keep. There are beasts left to slay. Listen, but closely, brothers. There shall come a time, far from now, when the chapter itself is dying, and our foes shall gather to destroy us. Then, my sons, I shall listen for your call, in whatever realm of death holds me, and come I shall, no matter what the laws of life and death forbid. At the end, I will be there, for the final battle, for the wolf time. This whole world burned under a crusade I led almost 2 centuries ago. I dreamed of God's arrival. I suffered hallucinations, visions, nightmares and trances, night after night after night. Sometimes I would wake at dawn to find blood running from my eyes and my ears, and our Father's face burned into my mind. Of course, I was too young, too naive to realize what I was. How could I know what psychic power boiled within me, seeking a release? I wasn't you, to know from birth how to control my 6th sense. I am not Russ, to be able to howl and have every wolf in the world howl with me. My powers always fired in fits and bursts, coming in feasts and famine. I was 8 years old when I realized that some people had pleasant dreams instead of endless nightmares. And nothing could have shocked me more. I waged a holy war in the name of a father who finally descended from above, saw the oceans of blood and tears shed in his name, and simply didn't care. I wasted my youth hunched over scripture and religious codices, planning for the Messiah's coming, believing he would give meaning to all human life, meaning that thousands of human cultures are forever seeking. And I was wrong. He brought as many questions as he did answers. He was hollowed through, infested by secrets. I hate that about him. He is a creature incapable of trust. Perhaps he did bring meaning. But he didn't bring the meaning humanity needs. Since then, I have crusaded across his empire for over a century, raising icons and faiths in his image. And only now he objects. After 100 years, only now am I told all I've done is wrong. Magnus, only the truly divine deny their divinity. It's written thus in countless human cultures. He never denied his godhead when he first came to Colchis to take me into the stars. You were there. He witnessed weeks of celebrations in his honour, never once rebuking me for lauding him as a god. And since then, he has watched me crusade for him, never saying a word about what I've done. Only now, at Monarchia, did he bring down his wrath when he decided my faith had to be broken after more than a century. It all changed in that moment, brother. The way I see the worlds we conquer, my hopes for the future. Everything. I spent decades on Colchis dreaming of the day God himself would arrive and lead humanity to the Empyrean. I raised a religion in his honour. For over 100 years I have spread that faith in his name, believing he matched every dream, every prophecy, every mythic poem about the ascension of the human race. Now I am told my life was a lie. That I have ruined countless civilizations with false faith. That every one of my brothers who laughed at me for seeking a greater purpose in life was right to laugh at our bloodline's only fool. That is salvation, is it? I say otherwise. I say it is a deliberate action against our Lord's heritage and the work of the Emperor himself. You are too noble to understand. That is not salvation, that is replacement. These new warriors will bear the colours of flesh terrors, but without Sanguinius' fury, they will be flesh terrors in name only. All my time as chapter master, I have waged war on our rage, to wrestle it into submission and use its strength to slay our foes. We are fury. And from the time of Amit, the savage lord, to this day, we have carried the white heat of Sanguinius' anger in us. That was our gift, and our burden. The flaw is what makes us what we are. We are nothing without the struggle against it. Yet he would make us all ultramarines in red armor. There are few of my warriors left. Few true flesh terrors. And once we are dead, the flesh terrors will be no more, no matter that these abominations carry our name. It is a betrayal, not a boon. Guilliman will want us gone quickly, and his own warriors in our stead. Open your eyes, Dante. These unnumbered sons, they are legions in all but name. I have spoken with the newcomers. They are only too glad to tell me of the Avenging Son's plans. Wherever Guilliman goes, he leaves his men in place. Through the Codex, he gave the Adeptus Astartes their independence. He is more than willing to remove it from us. Soon, the chapters will be free in name only, and these new Space Marines... Well, he has the gall to interfere with the work of the Emperor. And if he is willing to do that, what I suggest is treasonous. My words, or his actions. Be careful of him, Lord of Baal. Be very careful.
not weak, my son.
Father?
I am beyond your accusations, beyond speech, beyond anything. Why do you think that I speak? Your madness is finally complete.
No, you are here. I hear you. You have come to face my judgment, drawn by this offering I've made. You were ever a bloody god.
I am no god, nor shall ever be.
You're here. You are here. You understand your guilt. You have come to face my judgment.
You cannot condemn me. I am punished enough.
There is not enough punishment for what you have done. Not in this life or in the next.
How dare you presume to understand what I have done, and what sacrifices I have made, or what I now must suffer? You have never known the depths of my pain, for which I am grateful.
Why such hollow words?
No father wishes his sons to suffer, no matter what burdens he is forced to place upon them.
An apology? What next? You will forgive me? Sanguinius warned me you might.
There was never anything to forgive. You acted as you were made to, but my plan was interfered with. Your insanity was not your fault, nor was it mine.
It's lies! Lies! Everything was as you intended!
There is nothing you have done wrong. If only you and I could have met one more time, I could have shown you back to the light.
How marvellous! I am the Night Haunter! Light is anathema to me!
Light is within you all. You are my sons. You are born of light. None of you are beyond redemption.
Tell that to those who died!
Nothing ever dies. Death is a state of transition. You have my forgiveness, Conrad, whether you want it or not.
Never!
You made but one mistake, my son. From it, all the evil you have perpetrated springs. You chose to believe in immutable fate. Without choice, there is nothing. These gods that taunt us rely upon choice. The functioning of this universe depends upon choice. A single fate is one book in a library of illimitable futures. You read only one. Do you not see that you chose this? You chose to be fate's warrior. Had you believed in your own agency, none of this would have come to pass. You made this happen. You chose to be the way you are, trapped, manipulated, insane.
No, you sent the assassins to kill me! You want me dead!
You determined what fate you trod. Your belief, my son, is nothing but an excuse for your own failings.
No, I cannot be forgiven. After all I have done, where would be the justice in that? I had no choice! I had no choice!